What's up guys? My name's Nick, and I'm a mountain biker. Right now, I'm cutting up some wood for a new mountain bike feature I'm about to build. With the coronavirus running rampant throughout the United States, I'm forced to stay home and build mountain bike trails in my own backyard. Right now, we have about 30 seconds of single track, with plenty of jumps, berms, and drops. Click the link in the upper right hand corner for a full tour of our backyard. Anyway, in this video, we're going to build a tabletop skinny, and then we're going to ride it. And then I might fall, so stick around to the end. You know those logs you just saw me struggling trying to cut? Well, they're going to go in these holes that I'm struggling trying to dig. These are going to be the support beams for what is eventually going to be our mountain bike feature. We're not using any concrete, so they have to be strong enough to support our body weight. Therefore, I need to dig them deep enough to where they're not going to move. Once I feel confident that the holes were dug deep enough, I can begin filling it back in with dirt. This process took only about 15 minutes, and I feel really good knowing we have a solid foundation for this build. Since we're not using any concrete for this build, make sure you pack down the dirt really tight. Any loose dirt could make the project settle weird after time. Since we aren't able to go out and about like we usually are, we had to make use of the things that we had on hand. These trees were actually cut down by the electrical company and just left in our yard, so we had to turn them into a mountain bike feature. If these past few weeks have taught me anything, it's that you don't really need to spend money to have fun. If you have enough creativity and imagination, you can pretty much do anything. With the foundation in place, it was time to start cutting the tops of the logs to fit the lips. The blade on my sawzall was completely dull, but there was no way to go back to the store to get a new one, so I had to work with what I got.
That's exhausting.
After like a half hour of work, the feature was starting to take shape and the stoke levels were starting to rise. Before I dug any holes or cut any logs, I made these skinnies out of some old pallets I had laying around. I basically cut a really long pallet in half and then reinforced it with a 2x4. Now I had two long, strong skinnies to work with. And the coolest thing about it all is it's still recycled wood, so every feature made in my backyard is made out of recycled lumber. Katie was absolutely positive that this was the correct shape to cut the tabletop.
Exactly.
Luckily, we had extra wood and were able to cut the correct shape. A simple but effective rectangle. That'll do. The next challenge was trying to find an angle to screw in the boards.
Maybe if you put a board underneath of it.
So we put a board underneath of it, and just like that,
Not gonna step on that yet, it needs reinforced. But that's pretty much the deal.
the new feature was tons of fun with the perfect amount of challenge, and everything was going perfectly until I started to try to jump the tabletop.
So you can take my word for it if you want to. I don't blame you if you don't. But I just landed it, and I just had a really crazy fall, both which were cinematic gold, I guess you could say. And for some reason my phone just didn't record it when I went and checked. So I went to record it because I'm just not gonna have the clip and make up some excuse. And this is what happened. So as you just saw, I just ate a bunch of shit. I bent my dropper post, not bent it, but had to realign it, realign my stem, and realign my left brake and dropper. That wasn't very fun, but yeah, shit happens.
But I wasn't done yet. I went back to get the make, and as you can tell, I was a little sketched out. I was afraid to even get off the ground, and for good reason. I just ate a ton of crap. All I knew was this was the most obvious trick to pull in this feature, and if I didn't pull it, I was gonna be embarrassed. I can't just let one of the homies pull up here, land the trick at my own backyard. How could I live with myself? Not that we're gonna be having visitors for a while. As the attempts continued, I kept getting farther and farther until I was pretty happy with what I was doing. The goal was obviously to clear the table without any tires making contact.
Alright, that felt pretty good. I know it looks so easy until you see how skinny this shit is. It's so skinny. You're lucky if you land on it. Bro, that's like 3 tires wide.
That's a wrap for now. Let us know in the comments what we should build next. If you like this video, give us a thumbs up, and if you want to see more content like this, subscribe. Oh, and check us out on Instagram.